Hi, and welcome to Coffee Break. We are your hosts, Annie,
Corey,
and Hannah.
And today we're going to be talking about some controversial topics.
And the first one that comes to mind is our own personal one, which is team opt-out. That's at our school.
So basically, the way that our school lunch system works now, it kind of goes against other things that we're trying to do at the school.
Conflicting.
Yeah.
Like the way that we get our lunch at our school, because our school is kind of new, like it was made 2 years ago, and the way that we get it is we go to another public school in our area, and they send lunches over for us, and not everyone gets a lunch, but we're still paying money for the lunches that aren't eaten. And so team opt-out is really a movement for our school to be like, hey, let's stop paying money for lunches and just have kids either bring their own lunch or we make our own lunch system with the money that we're spending. And I think they plan on doing that next year, but we want real movement rather than just waiting.
Yeah.
And, even then, we don't know how good the lunches are going to be every day. The lunches are usually smushed or, mixed together.
Or soggy.
Yeah. I don't typically eat lunch.
I bring my own lunch, but...
I'll take food from other people. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you don't eat at school, do you?
No.
You used to bring your own lunch.
Yeah, and then I got bored. I didn't want to have to get up early enough to make my own lunch.
You gonna get it at night?
But then it wouldn't be right anymore. Because I make sandwiches, and then the sandwich would be all soggy by the time school starts.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We're in a real predicament.
I mean, I keep my... Okay, but it's not about lunch, Annie. Come on.
But, the whole thing is just trying to tell our school that we believe that bringing your own lunch or making your own lunch system is the best decision for us financially and the student-wise. Because only, at least, 15 to 20 people every day consistently eat lunch, I believe. And, the only reason I would eat lunch is if I don't have lunch for that day, or if I didn't have time to get a lunch, or, it's not something that I would willingly choose, unless it was, pizza, which is what we do on days that we don't have public school lunch. If our public school system is out and we're in, our school gets pizza for us. That's the only way that I would eat, a quote-unquote school lunch.
But Pizza Hut has a school lunch program. Really? But they have a school lunch program, and I sent the stuff to April. Maybe that could happen?
April, if anyone doesn't know, is our mentor, plus our teacher, or ex-teacher, or whatever, and Corey's advisor at our school. Our school is a charter school, in case anyone knows what that is. This will make a lot more sense.
We are a public charter high school.
Yes.
Based in Fort Smith.
We are 10th through 11th at this point. By next year, we'll be 10th through 12th enrolling. Also,
the thing with Team Opt-Out is that if we get it to, if we opt out of it, we can end up, because right now we're not allowed to have the food truck more than one day.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's not, regulated by the school system. But if we opt out of it, then we can have the food truck every day, and people could eat off of that for lunch.
Oh, yeah, that too. Plus, they brought up the fact of if people don't have enough money to get the food truck, because the food truck's kind of expensive for people who don't have enough money, is that our school has various extracurricular clubs, and Corey and Annie both made grilled cheeses last week, correct?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. And I think Corey brought up the idea of selling those at lunch and like they're real cheap and easy, as are like hot dogs or like even like probably like getting discounted meat from like one of our sponsors or something like that. Like there's real cheap and efficient ways to make lunch because we don't have that much of a student population if you think about it.
Right.
Because it starts at the beginning of the year really high, and then the second semester is really when you know your actual. But yeah. So there are different solutions to this, honestly, other than just waiting on public schools to give us so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard for us because also, like you said, we're charged for the ones that we don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at the beginning of the year, there was a whole bunch of leftovers because I was getting sent over. And eventually we had to limit ourselves, telling the schools not to send us as much. But now there's, the issue with not everyone's getting a lunch. So at the beginning of the year, we were losing a lot of money because of all the extra lunches we had. And now we're short lunches.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And
whenever we had like extra lunches, we usually gave them
Canyon or like
to people,
like extra, like people who would want another lunch would get another lunch, like
Or Miss Carisha would take them down
to the
a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not like it's a waste, but it's like we lost a lot of money that way. But now also they still like, if we run short lunches, they do go and get something for those kids who didn't get to eat.
Yeah.
So we're still having to pay for those on top of, the short lunches, what we're having to pay to feed them as well.
Yeah. Don't they get like a bag lunch or something like that?
Before that, like if we ran out of lunch, like food, they would get a sandwich.
Yeah, they would make a sandwich. Last like, I guess it was yesterday, which was Tuesday, they went and got a pizza for those but there was only a couple of us.
Yeah.
And then the time before that, they had went and got like McDonald's.
What was yesterday's lunch?
I don't remember.
It was a hamburger.
Oh yeah, it was like that cheeseburger thing. I don't know. And the next controversial topic we're going to be talking about is the YouTube shooting that happened yesterday. You guys, what do we really know about the YouTube shooting?
So, basically, this woman was like mad at YouTube for like she believed that YouTube was hiding her videos.
Oh, because our videos were about animal rights, and she was trying to call attention to that, and she just got really angry, right?
And she went up there and shot at a bunch of the employees that she didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else about that?
The fact of like how anger can just like go out of hand like that. Like, yeah, YouTube is kind of like blocking videos that have certain keywords in it. Like, yeah, but I don't know. I wish that we could get our stuff together as like the human race, so that we could stop shootings and just like not have this happen again.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of dumb.
It's becoming a lot. Like, we're having a lot of issues with gun violence.
Yeah. So basically, this happened in San Bruno. I don't know where I know it's in California. I think it's right outside of San Francisco. But I'm not sure. But
for that to happen in a very large populated area is also terrifying. Because like we saw some of the I saw some of the recordings of it whenever it was like happening, and it was very scary.
okay. So next thing.
We could go on to the walkouts in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So in case anyone doesn't know, the walkouts for teachers in Oklahoma, correct?
Yeah.
Because they aren't being paid enough for the job that they're doing.
They said it's not just for like salary, but also for like classroom.
Because usually teachers have to buy all their supplies out of their own.
Out of their own money?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
And kids are using like old textbooks. They're having to share them.
Oh, yeah. And like, that's horrible. Holy crap. I didn't know that. I only thought it was just about the salary. Or like,
I've seen a bunch of like Facebook posts about how bad it is. Like, these teachers shouldn't be out here making parents have to stay home and watch their kids.
what?
It is their kids.
Yeah.
There are even some though like teachers like that aren't, you know, here in Arkansas that are kind of, or that are here in Arkansas that are kind of like, don't agree with it because they feel like, you know, because now they're having to shut down schools because there's some teachers, you know, and so they're literally like putting off a day of education for the children because they want to go fight for more money. But that kind of stuff could happen. You know, you could wait over summer and do the same thing. Maybe not the same like impact because you know, now they are having to shut down schools. So I see it kind of both ways. I don't really have an opinion about the whole walkout or anything like that going on over there.
They kind of do. It's just like, yeah, you're depriving them a day of education, but based on the things that they don't have, they're basically losing education even if they are trying to learn. Like, there's no point. So, like, you might be, like, leaving them with their parents. They might learn a lesson over it. They might get some sort of, like, courage that they never had to speak up about how they want to learn. Or, like, this could make a big impact on them in their lives, you know? So why just, like, stand around and not do anything when all the things you have are outdated and things that you need to buy, you can't buy.
I also feel like Oklahoma, though, isn't very, like, most of it's, like, very, like, countryside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Oklahoma itself is not a very, like,
Education-centered place.
right. And also, I feel like just, like, Oklahoma as a whole isn't very, I wouldn't say, like, they don't have the exact support financially
Oh, yeah.
that other places have, so I feel like that's also an issue with that.
There's nothing that we can really change about that because that's their state, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I do know, like, even if you're in rural country, you always have that, like, stereotype that you're not smart enough or, like, you're not a smart person in general. And I feel like their education means a lot because, like, you're getting stereotyped as something that you're not. Like, might as well just prove you wrong. But you can't because you don't have the necessary resources to fulfill what you want to do, you know? So, like, yeah. It's just kind of dumb that, like, teachers in general have to fight for something that they need. Like, if you had to buy all of your stuff for your classroom and say you had to buy the textbooks too, or I don't know, maybe that's for the school entirely, like, you have to live off of that money too, because I know the teachers that we have get paid monthly, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Most teachers do get paid monthly. Or
Yeah.
monthly.
They get a
Or
salary
bi-weekly.
for a year, and then they divide it like over the 12 months
months,
because they don't go to
Work
they
during
don't
summer.
well they for like part of the summer they don't work, and then
Right.
a lot of the time they're spent like taking classes because you have to further your education when you're a teacher.
Yeah. And, like, it's just sort of, man. And you have to buy all that stuff, you know? And you have to live at the same time. And I feel like the at least change the way that their classrooms work, if not their pay grade, you know?
Right.
Because, yeah. It's just dumb that they have to fight for that. Whenever, like, other people are getting paid much more to do much less. Yeah.
I feel like that's with anything. Like, I understand. I think my whole thing with it is I understand wanting to be supported financially, like, in the classroom, but I don't see necessarily a need for a pay raise. You know what I mean? Sure, like, a pay raise is nice. You know, everyone wants one of those. But I don't think that should be, like, the sole purpose of their protest. So that's why I'm saying, like, I understand wanting more money for your classroom and, like, your supplies, but kind of that salaries being thrown out there is kind of like, it kind of, like, distances I distance myself from that because I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
You're just thinking about money rather than the kids. Like,
Right.
Some people are actually like that, yeah.
Right.
This happened like last month, I think. Yeah, because it's April. To the teachers, I forget where they were. They went down to the capital of their state or whatever.
That's in Oklahoma.
It was in Oklahoma. That was Oklahoma? I thought it was another place.
There was another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is like day 2 of the Oklahoma Minute, or day 3 maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But another place did it, and like all these teachers crowded around, all these like parents crowded around, and they all just went to the Capitol and staged a big, huge protest inside of it.
Yeah.
And it was like really cool. And yeah.
I feel like it's sad now that you're having to, the teachers are having to go to this extent for these things, you know. Like I said, the classroom thing, it should be, you know, superintendents, the state, everything like that, they should be able to see the issues with, you know, study books and everything like that. So I'm like, it's kind of, for me, like, teachers shouldn't have to be going to this point, you know. The state and, you know, all them should be providing for their schools. Because especially now, the time that we're coming to, you can't really get a lot of jobs without even, like, a high school degree, or a high school diploma.
Yeah. Soon a high school diploma is going to be irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think us as a whole country, we need to start investing more into our education system.
Yeah.
I think right now, like a lot of the teachers that are working in Oklahoma are emergency teachers, and they don't really have to have a degree in teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need so many teachers, and there's not enough that have gone through the right education, because they just don't want to be it because they don't get paid enough.
True.
But there are also a lot of systems, like, coming back to, like, the whole doing classes online and stuff. Because I know there's, like, a new academy, Connections Academy in, like, Van Buren that does, like, it's like homeschooling, but it's all on computers. So, yeah, the Connections Academy in Van Buren, basically it's kind of like a homeschooling. It's also, like, they do have to come in, or they're supposed to come in, like, once a week or something to check on their work with the teacher. But everything else is pretty much online, kind of like how we do Summit. It's kind of like that, but even more independent.
Ew. Sorry. I mean, like, our program Summit isn't good. Like, I don't
agree.
Like, it's the way it's being put out right now. It's not good.
I think that's also becoming an issue. You know, we were talking about, you know, not having enough. And I feel like that's what's driving students away from being in the classroom, is not having the resources they need. But also, I feel like it's really hard to go into a whole independent platform by yourself.
Yeah.
Or even with the, you know, guidance.
Especially, like, if you're just coming into high school and you get thrown into that.
Right.
Like, it's a very hard transition to go from having someone lead your way to you leading your way in, like, a 2-month time span.
I agree.
Which is why future school should be K through 12.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Like, our teacher, who teaches English, Ms. Onley, she really wants to see the school go from just 10 through 12 to K through 12, which would be
Maybe even a preschool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That'd be a real good thing, because you get to harness their minds, like, early in life.
And you can force them to do Summit from the very beginning.
I think they were talking about really doing away with Summit.
Yeah, we're not going to use it next year, I believe.
Really?
And I'll be gone and graduated, so.
It won't matter.
Well, hopefully ATU doesn't pick it up.
No, I would drop out. I'm already considering dropping out of college. I'm not even there yet.
AT is actually very good.
I love their campus. Like, their campus is, like, small, but I feel like it's, like, everything you need in, like, this little area.
Mm-hmm. I really want to go to either, if I am, could I go to college? I don't know. University of Fayetteville. University of Arkansas Fayetteville. Or whatever. Because I like their campus,
What happened
too.
to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, but it's so far.
It's so
Plus,
far.
guess what? I looked up what's the ACT score you had to get in. You had to have to get in, basically. So 32, I think. And above.
Where?
Dickinson's College, Carlisle, PA. Yeah, 32 and above.
How about you go to college outside of where you're trying to go?
For
and
real.
Just look at the college from across the street.
I think UPenn is lower than that. Has to be.
Like, UCLA is 26 for like their average is 26.
Their average is a 32 through 34.
That's their average?
Yeah.
And, like, not what it takes to get in?
Average, yeah.
It just means that
I
most
think
people
the
have
average at like Arkansas Tech is like a 22 or like 21.
I'm surprised it's not a 19.
I could get in.
Isn't UFIS like a 19?
Yeah, UFIS is very, like, this one over here, is very, very low. I remember that.
Their acceptance rate is really, really, really high too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The acceptance rate is low up in Fayetteville because so many people want to go there.
Yeah, so many people want to go there, so it's like really competitive. But it's also kind of like pegged as like a party school.
So was Central Arkansas, though.
Yes, their campus is really nice too.
I think that, like, I don't know. Arkansas colleges are weird. Anyway.
Arkansas colleges are weird. I plan to go visit a college sometime in December or November
I wanna.
in California. And to save up my money. I forgot we were recording. None of this has to
Anyway.
do with controversy.
But at this point, we're just talking about, like,
Is a college
what we wanna talk
education
about.
really
Yeah.
necessary? That's controversial.
Ooh.
Because some people don't think you need to have a college education, while others think it's, you know.
They think it's obsolete. I think.
Exactly.
Or that whatever they want to do, they can do on their own. I think one of our students that dropped out thought that. I remember. She was like, my mentor said that she got through all of this stuff and became successful without college. But that's like a one in like so many chances.
Especially
you
when
know?
we're talking about now, it's even like,
Everything's becoming more competitive. There's less jobs.
right.
Like, in the fields that you would want, there's probably a lot more people highly, like, more qualified than you. Like,
This says that University of Arkansas Fort Smith, their acceptance rate is 56.3%, which I feel like is wrong.
yeah.
Because saying University of Arkansas, that's Fayetteville, is 62.
How?
And that's saying that UFIS is less than, which I don't agree with because
So that means out of every single person that goes, half of them are going to get in.
Yeah.
right.
Which kind of makes sense.
Wait, is it the higher the acceptance rate, the lower the chance? No.
The lower the acceptance rate, the harder it is to get in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. For some reason, my mind just
Arkansas
kind of
Tech
went
has an
like...
86. Yeah.
Look at Central Arkansas. It has a 94.
Yeah, I feel like this is wrong.
It probably says on their website somewhere. But
One of my band teachers got into Central Arkansas.
So do you guys find that a college education is necessary?
well,
For
I
some.
feel like
Yeah.
for most like things that you want to do, unless you are like a prodigy or
Unless you're like
You
child
fall under-
genius or something.
you fall under something that doesn't like require a college degree, like
Oh yeah. I think sometimes like you become a programmer without a college degree, like
Yeah, but-
different IT things. But that was like back then.
that was back then, yeah. But
Yeah.
now there's so many computer science degrees that
Some of them just don't have a field. Like some of them become obsolete within a couple of years.
yeah.
So, isn't that weird? But yeah, I think as Corey said, if you have a certain type of like genius in you, or you,
Or your family.
yeah,
Some people can just get through life because their family has money.
yeah,
I still feel like you should educate or like have some sort of like something under your belt. One of the basketball players, actually, I was talking to him the other day, and he's already been like D1 ranked and everything. Like he's a really good player. But he was talking about, you know, how people were talking to him about basketball scholarships. And I was like, so what would you want to major in? And he was like, I don't know, like just, I was like, well, I feel like, you know, even those people who get scholarships for some sort of like sport and have, you know, opportunities to even excel in those sports and go higher than just college level, they still need to have some sort of like backup. You know, something could happen senior year, you know, you fracture a bone or something, you know.
yeah.
So I feel like I think it's necessary to have a backup so you know that you're not going to be struggling in the long run. You know?
Yeah.
It's I think it's one of the requirements for you to even become like a part of the team that you have to have a major. Or something. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
I was just asking him what he would, and he said he didn't know what he would.
You should just go into business.
Yeah, business is actually a very good thing to just go into to start with.
Apparently, you can like get a degree in like some sort of leadership here at UFIS. They have like a leadership degree.
Wow.
Is that like the kind of degree that Trish has? I mean, like, is that because I feel like she has more than one degree. But what I mean, like, I feel like she has more than one major.
Yeah, I'm pretty
She
sure.
went to college more than once.
She has to have. I feel like most of the teachers are like going for education right now. Like Nathaniel, Taylor, Crystal wants to. Amelie has. Boyd wants to. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard Trish say that she had a degree.
The guy, Steve Clark's assistant does. At ProPac, his like assistant, I think, has a degree in leadership.
Oh. Steve Clark, Jamie. Jamie Clark. She's so nice.
I love her.
Sorry. And then Steve, he's like a redneck guy. He's so cool. So fun.
They come into Orlando's all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Jamie always just sits there and talks to me.
But I think that's the limit of our controversial topics, you guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening this week. Be sure to check out our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all at FS Coffee Break. Also, if you're on YouTube, check us out on the podcast app. And if you're on the podcast app, check us out on YouTube.
Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the video. And
All links will be down below for our social media.
also click the bell.
For notifications.
For notifications, yeah.
On when we post, which are Thursdays at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.